In the Sacred Heart of Medina, during the final years of divine revelation, the Prophet Muhammad was often seen with two radiant boys at his side, Hasan and Husayn. These were no ordinary children. They were the beloved grandsons of the Prophet, Samid, the sons of Fatima al-Zahra, and Ali ibn Abi Talib. To the world they were princes of the household. To the Prophet, Samid alayhi were pieces of his own soul. Their childhood was rich in love, but marked early by trials. Even in their youth, they were trained in nobility, sacrifice, and steadfastness. The Prophet Samid alayhi once declared, "Hasan and Husayn are the leaders of the youth of paradise. They were raised in purity, in a home fragranced by revelation, honored by Allah Himself." The Prophet Samid alayhi love for them was profound. Once, during prayer in the masjid, he prolonged his prostration. When asked why, he replied, "My grandson was on my back. I did not wish to disturb him." In another moment he embraced them with tears in his eyes and said, "Allah, I love them, so love them too." These sacred moments were etched into the hearts of the companions and preserved in the annals of history. But time, even for the Prophet Samid alayhi, was limited. When he passed from this world, the entire Ummah grieved, but none more deeply than the Ahlul Bayt. Fatima al-Zahra, his daughter, wept until her final breath, and within months she too departed this world. The separation was only beginning. Years passed. Political tides shifted. Imam Hassan, wise and strikingly similar to the Prophet Samid alayhi in both appearance and character, briefly held the caliphate, but to prevent bloodshed in the Muslim Ummah, he surrendered power and signed a treaty with Muawiyah on the condition that leadership would return to Ahlul Bayt after Muawiyah's death. This act was not weakness, it was sacrifice. But the peace did not last. Imam Hassan was poisoned, allegedly by his own wife, manipulated by political enemies. Even in agony, he forbade retaliation, saying, "Let no blood be shed for me." He died young, leaving behind a brother with a mission. Karbala, the stand of Husayn. Imam Husayn was not a man of war. He was a man of truth, principle, and divine purpose. When Yazid, son of Muawiyah, declared himself caliph, a man known for oppression and indulgence, Husayn refused to pledge allegiance. To him, silence in the face of injustice was betrayal. From Kufa came thousands of letters. "Come to us, O grandson of the Prophet. We have no Imam but you." With him went his family, his sons, brothers, nephews, companions, and his sister Zaynab. It was a caravan of faith, marching toward an uncertain fate, but betrayal awaited. As they neared Kufa, the letters stopped. Yazid's army, led by Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad, intercepted Husayn. They blocked his path at Karbala, a dry, barren plain. It was the 2nd of Muharram, 61 AA. They camped near the Euphrates River, but access to water was cut off. Women and children cried of thirst. Husayn pleaded for mercy, holding up his infant son, Ali Asghar. "If you have no mercy on me, then at least have mercy on this baby." Atuz, a soldier answered with a 3-pronged arrow. It struck the baby's neck. Husayn caught the blood in his hands and said, "O Allah, it is enough for me that you see what they are doing." Ashura, the day of truth. On the night of Ashura, Husayn gathered his companions. "I release you from your oath." Atuz, but not a single soul left. They stayed, not for victory, but for loyalty. On the 10th of Muharram, the massacre began. 72 stood against 1,000. One by one, they fell. Qasim, the young son of Hassan, Ali Akbar, the son of Husayn, Abbas ibn Ali, the brave standard-bearer, who lost both arms before falling. At last, Husayn stood alone. Bleeding, exhausted, and heartbroken, he fell to the ground. A soldier approached and severed his blessed head. The grandson of the Prophet Hasan was martyred, not in defeat, but in the greatest triumph of truth. over tyranny. At his aftermath, Zaynab's voice. The tents were burned. The women and children were taken captive. Zaynab, the sister of Husayn, rose as a pillar of strength. In the court of Yazid, she declared, "You think you have shamed us? No. By Allah, you have only disgraced yourself." At hers, Husayn's severed head was paraded across cities, but in every heart that heard his story, something stirred. Legacy of Karbala. Karbala was not the end, it was the beginning. At hers, Husayn did not rise for power, he rose for purity. His message was clear: I do not rise for glory or mischief. I rise to revive the religion of my grandfather, to enjoin good and forbid evil. He rose not just for Shia, not just for Sunni, he rose for truth. Today, Husayn lives in the hearts of all who resist oppression, all who choose dignity over fear, and principle over silence. Every day is Ashura, every land is Karbala. May the love of Ahlul Bayt illuminate our hearts. May we, like Husayn, always stand for what is right, and may we never remain silent in the face of injustice.